my name's Brett Spencer. I'm a CAD Technician at Aflex Hose. Now, I've just recently moved into that role, so during the course I was a quality inspector who was responsible for calibration at Aflex Hose. When I was first introduced to qualities was when I actually joined the quality team at Aflex. It was about 12 years ago, and we didn't have it as such a continuous improvement. It was through non-conformances and the Plan, Do, Check, Act. That was how we was doing continuous improvement. So it wasn't really given to me as you're doing continuous improvement. So it was quite nice to see some of the tools that I was using was also used in the course itself, the level 3. Yeah, I mean, the level 3 apprenticeship, the key learnings was the work that goes into defining a problem. That I couldn't believe how much you actually work needs to go into before you get that problem, because normally I'd just go headlong into it could just be a problem that's a hearsay problem, or you just sort of you end up burning yourself out because you try to fix every single thing that's a problem but actually isn't. And it's not until I learned to define it and then measure it did I find that I had a problem. The modular program, it was new to me. I mean, the previous way I'd learning was we'd go and do the theory, really hit home with the theory, maybe quite condensed, and then go out and put that into practice, and then come back and evaluate, and then move on to the next subject. The modular way is definitely smaller bites. You're just getting little bits of information. Sometimes I felt like it was holding me back a little bit. Other times I was like, I think I need a little bit more of a gap before I put this into practice. My project itself was conducted on a piece of equipment that we use at Aflex Hose. It's called a true meter, and we use them to measure the lengths of the hoses that we produce. Because of the calibration work that I do on them, I was figuring out that we had a 4% tolerance, so we could, in effect, give the customer an extra 4% of hose every time we give it to them. So it was kind of like looking at the costs of that and broke it down, and can we improve on that tolerance? And yes, we did. But we also found out that there was no standard operating procedures for how to use the equipment, because it was such a simple piece of equipment to use. But during the course itself, I found that some people weren't using it correctly, and that was leading in even greater error. I mean, anyone who's thinking of doing this sort of apprenticeship, I'd say go for it. I mean, the amount of knowledge that I've learned from it is a lot. Just in the define stage alone, the tools that you get to use in that, let alone the measure. I mean, the measure it can be a little bit daunting with some of them. But yeah, I mean, I would say go for it. I would add, though, that you must make sure that your managers are 100% behind you. They are needed throughout the course. If you need that support, it's nice just to go to someone like that. I mean, I was fortunate to have that, and it was needed. I found it during the course. Now that I could define a problem, it then freed myself up, because I could say no to certain problems that weren't actually problems. It might have been a problem for that operator at that time, but in the grand scheme of things, it was tiny, it was negligible. So yeah, I mean, and by saying no, you don't lean yourself to burnout. But that's the main thing that I got from this program. The course itself was a massive influence on what I learned. I mean, my thought process has changed. I found that's the biggest thing that I've found coming out of this is the way I actually think about a problem now. I mean, my manager was a massive influence as well, helping me through it. I mean, he was the first one that introduced me into the Six Sigma course. Then my natural curiosity took over, and it was, yeah, I mean, I was keen to find out how it would help in my role as well. How will this Six Sigma, what is it? How can it help me? And it turns out it can do quite a lot.